Hello, it's Heather and Phil, and we are at Frost Stadium for the UTC Blue and Gold game. That's where the UTC softball team plays against itself, and it should be exciting. They're actually doing 3 of these. We can only catch the first one, and I'm going to be shooting with the R7 and the 70 to 200 2.8, as well as the 100 to 500, and Heather's going to be shooting with the R7 and the 18 to 150 kit lens. So let's get this going. All right, let's get right into this. I'm starting out using the RF 70 to 200 2.8. I shot all my shots with that lens at 2.8. Here is the picture. This is through the net, 135 millimeters, 1/2500th of a second. You can see all the settings up here in the top right. Here is a runner who has just gotten out at first base. I like it when you actually see the ball coming into the glove and the runner, but this one, the ball had already made it to the glove. Here's a batter who is getting out in the outfield. Number 27 has caught the ball. I love the big softball sign in the background. This is a 200 millimeter shot from pretty much right behind home plate through the net. I try to do some up close shots from time to time. This is a 172 millimeter shot on the APS-C censored Canon R7 of this batter. She always, when she's getting ready to bat, she always looks at her bat like she's trying to command it to hit the ball. Here's a shot. I love these 2.8 shots. This is from through the net, but I'm looking straight down the third base line here, and you can see the third baseman's completely bokeh-fied as number 33 has hit the ball. This is a left-handed batter, so I've gone over. I'm still looking through the net, but now I'm over on the third base line, and I like this shot because she has bunted and done a pretty good bunt because it's gone straight down, and you can see some players in the dugout on the first base line kind of bokeh-fied over there. During this blue and gold game where the UTC team is playing against the UTC team, they had some of the players working as the first base and third base coaches. And this girl kept her glove on top of her hat the entire time when she worked as third base coach. Here's kind of an up-close shot of this batter really staring. You can see her eyes really clearly as she's staring at the pitch when it's on the way in. And man, the bokeh from that 70 to 200 at 200 millimeters is just fantastic. That is a great lens. I like this light star also of the sun reflected off of her helmet. When you were on the first base line, as I was for this shot, the players were backlit, but with it zoomed up so much, it wasn't bad. Here's number 16 coming in to score. Number 9, she's a slap batter, which is left-handed batters often do that. They'll kind of start their run towards first base as they're swinging the bat, and she has hit this one down. You can see the C on the ball, which I always like to see the Chattanooga C on the softballs. I think that makes the picture more interesting. And she's hit this one straight down, so she's definitely not going to fly out, and then she'll start running to first base. 70 millimeters was just right. I was worried on a 1.6 crop 70 millimeters was going to be too much, and I wouldn't be able to get the entire batter in the shot from the position where I'm making this shot, the front row. But it turned out, this is the first time I've done APS-C with a Canon camera at this field, but it turned out to be just right. Here's a 177 millimeter shot. This shot's not cropped a single pixel, and it's the catcher catching the ball, and you can see all the dust flying off of her glove as the ball's just hit her glove. Here's a batter hitting the ball, and I like to try to get the ball as close to the bat as I can. Here's that same batter up again. I love to get this shot of her looking at her bat before she steps into the batter's box. Now I've gone to the outfield, and I've switched to the 100 to 500 lens, and I was actually out here in the outfield trying to get pictures of batters, but at first I was in the bleachers that were kind of on the first base line, and the light wasn't very good from there of the batters. But this shot of number 3 as she's coming to first base and the ball is coming into the first baseman's glove, I got really lucky and got some great timing on this. Now the ball is almost to the glove, and number 3 is almost to first base, and now the ball is even closer to the glove, and number 3 is even closer to first base, and now the ball is coming into the glove, and number 3's foot is touching first base. And I believe, if I remember correctly, they called number 3 safe, and the rules are the tie goes to the runner, so that was a good call. Now I've moved over to the bleachers closer to the third base line, and the light was a little bit better on the batters from there, but this is a runner coming to second base. This is the second baseman. The ball's being thrown to the second baseman from the outfield, and you can see this player is going to slide into second, and I made a number of shots of it. Here she's diving down, the ball's getting closer, still not in the frame, and she's getting more into slide. You can even see some dirt starting to kick up off of her cleat as she's starting to sliding some more. Starting to get serious about the slide. Look at those eyes on the base, which is fun because you can really see her eyes great here, but a little bit later in the sequence you can't see her eyes at all. Now her helmet's starting to come down, and look at the dirt's coming up. She still hasn't made it to the base yet, and the ball is just coming into the second baseman's glove. She has to tag her out. This is not a force, so she has to actually tag the batter, and it looks like she is making it to second. You can see her fingers coming up over second base and all this dirt coming up, and now her helmet's so far forward you can't see her face at all. And now you couldn't see her face even if she didn't have a helmet on, and now even more so. What an effort she has made to be safe there at second base. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Look at all that. There's dirt 3 or 4 feet in the air now from this slide, and the second baseman has realized that there's no way she's going to get this girl out, but I think she does go ahead and tag her. But by that time I had quit shooting. And now this is from that same spot, but now this is a 451 millimeter shot with the 1.6 crop R7. So that is a 721 millimeter full frame equivalent shot from the bleachers behind the third base outfield fence. Here's a 400 millimeter shot of number 2. She has hit the ball. I think it's a foul ball, but I like this shot because she's a left-handed batter and she's really just barely completed her swing, and she's looking to see where the ball is flying. Pretty cool. And now I'm at 270 millimeters. I'm behind. There was an area in between the dugout wall and the bullpen on the third base line, just about 4 feet, maybe 5 feet wide, and you could stand right there, and I really enjoyed shooting from there. And I got a photograph of number 15 as she is trying to put down a bunt right here. I love her eyes on the ball in this shot. And this is another shot from that same position, only 100 millimeters now, still using the 100 to 500 of a player sliding into third base. And you can see I have another shot that's closer, but by that time the ball you can't see it anymore. So I like this shot better, where you can still see this ball. It hasn't gotten hidden by number 19's body in the shot. And now I'm kind of above the dugout, and this is another 100 millimeter shot with a 100 to 500. Number 4 has gotten hung up in between second base over here and third base over here, and this is the catcher who's run all the way up. They've got her hung up, and you can see where the second baseman, who is right here, has thrown the ball to the catcher, and it's in the air, and the catcher will catch this ball and tag number 4 out. That was a lot of fun to shoot that. Now I've switched back to the 70 to 200, and I believe I'm shooting through the net now. This is when Heather got there, and I went over and sat with Heather, and this is a pitcher shot at 115 millimeters. Here's a 100 millimeter shot of the third baseman catching this ball, and I was disappointed in this shot because I had cut her feet off, and I just decided to do a square crop with it and then cut her legs off too. I thought this looked better than the odd shot with her cut off at the ankles. Here's number 2 hitting the ball. This is 1/3200th of a second, and there's still motion blur in the bat and the ball. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, this is a 2.8 shot, so there's lots of great bokeh. And this is number 2 running to first base. The ball, you can see the ball through the webbing of the first baseman's glove. So number 2 is going to be out, and you can see right here where her last step was, there's dirt flying up in the air. That's pretty cool. Here's another batting photo with the 70 to 200 at 70 millimeters. And I really like the way this shot came out. There was great sun angle over on first base when you were photographing it from behind the plate, but slightly towards third base. This is through the net, and the sun was on them pretty bright, and she's got her hand up here to keep the sun out of her eyes. And in the pictures, I took pictures, a sequence of pictures leading up to this one, and when the ball was way out of the shot, she had a shadow on her face that was made by her hand, but as the ball got closer, she moved her hand out of the way, so it worked pretty good to have great light on her eyes and the ball going into the glove glove with the C on it, and you can see that number 15 is definitely going to be out. Another batting shot at 70 millimeters. And this is the last play of the game. The third baseman has gotten out number 19 as she's coming to third base, and she's going to throw the ball over to first base for a double play, and I missed the shot at first base. My friend Ray Soldano got that shot, and here's the third baseman and the pitcher celebrating when the game was over. And the blue team ended up beating the gray team by 1 run, so it ended up being 5-4. It was a very entertaining game. They did a great job dividing one team up to make 2 teams and have it be pretty even. All right, now let's have a look at Heather's shots. She used the Canon R7 and she used the kit lens. She used the 18-150 kit lens that comes bundled with the camera. Now remember, I was shooting with 2 different lenses, and both of those lenses, the 70-200 and the 100-500, cost nearly $3,000. So Heather was using a lot less expensive gear, but I just want to show you that you can go out and shoot baseball or softball, your kid's little league team, and even college ball with that kit lens and make some pictures that are pretty awesome. The 18-150 is 28.8 to I think 240 millimeters full frame equivalent on the R7. It's pretty doggone capable. Now you'll notice not as much separation like with the lenses I was using, especially the 70-200 2.8. This fence in the background would be a lot more out of focus, so there'd be a lot better separation between the picture here and the fence, but you know, most people wouldn't even notice that. Photographer people are the kind of people that notice that. But here's the picture that Heather got in this 111 millimeter shot, f6.3 and 1/1000th of a second. Here is the picture for the other team, the same team but the other team. I love this shot because of the leading lines that Heather got of this picture, and the second baseman and the right fielder getting smaller in the frame. That's really cool. Here's a batting shot that she got. She sat right beside me there on the third base line for most of the game. It was really cool to see what she could do with the kit lens at a softball game. I love it when you catch the C on the ball as it's flying. Another batting shot. It was best to be on the third base side as far as light, so we really enjoyed it when the left-handed batters came up. There's another left-handed batter, and another left-handed batter, and another left-handed batter. She did a really nice job capturing these lefties. And one more. Here's another pitcher shot. This is a shot that I missed. I was sitting right beside her and I missed this shot. I cut the glove off. I was trying to get a tighter shot and I cut the first baseman's glove off, and the girl ended up being safe because, as you can see, the throw was so high that the first baseman had to come off the bag to make the catch. But I missed this shot and Heather got it, so that was really awesome. All right, thanks for watching. We hope to see you in the next one. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Bye-bye. Hello, how you doing? It's Heather and Phil, and we are at Frost Stadium, where today we're going to be shooting the UTC blue and gold game, where UTC saw... Shit.